and welcome to another episode of Never Caught Offside with me, the host, Alex Voltaire, here today with Miguel and Cam. How are you, boys?
Yeah, really good. What's going on?
Good, good. I see Chelsea rapping hard today, boy. Look at this.
All the Arsenal fans have gone
Ah,
into hiding now since Isak's unavailable.
all our Arsenal representatives just disappeared on us today, man. If this was like the setup right now is like Chelsea, Chelsea, then Liverpool. Like I'm so happy because if I was in the middle, it would just be Chelsea sandwich pause, So yeah, we don't want that. It would be like reverse Oreo pause. Like we don't want that. No Diddy, yeah, or no Rick Ross. I don't know if you lot saw the Rick Ross stuff today, but anyway, that's another story. Yeah, Rick Ross was seen on a boat kissing man. Okay, cool. I didn't say that. Allegedly, allegedly. Woo, woo. Anyway. Oh. Right, so we're gonna get straight into it. Big bomb, big bomba. All of the content creators, all of the social media journalists were commenting on the big news that dropped. I would say it was just after like midday or something like that because there were some content creator shows I was watching live and they didn't know and they reported it afterwards. So it looks like Alexander Isak has decided that he would like to make a move away from Newcastle and test his skills elsewhere. Now, it was only what barely 48 hours, 72 hours where we learned that he was asking Newcastle for new terms on a new deal of 300,000 a week, only to turn around now and say he wants to leave. Now, has he been told it's a no? Has it been told? We need to see. We're not too sure, but he must have had something solid happen. He must have had little words in his ear for him now to turn around and say to Newcastle, "I would like to explore other opportunities." So, boys, is this him handing a transfer request? Is this official?
I don't think it's a transfer request. The official line is he wants to explore his options. There's obviously offers that have come direct to him, or his agent. So he's aware of potential um, futures, let's say, the options that he could go down. I don't think it's a transfer request, but
Do you do you think this is Ronaldo, Man United, where he tells Ferguson, I want to go in Madrid, and they make out some type of negotiation where you will go in a year's time. Is this what? Because if it is a transfer request, then he would have handed that straight in. Maybe it's a case of he just wants to be like
respectful.
respectful. I like you guys. I don't want the fans coming for my neck. So I'm gonna potentially tell you guys I want to leave. But does that mean he wants to leave now, or what? What, Miguel? What do you reckon?
I think to be honest, the timing is unusual. I feel like he's been on the receiving end of really, really poor advice. Where if he had done this same exact thing 1 week ago, he would have been in a position of leverage, or even announced it 1st of June, end of the season. Want to explore my options, and then everyone can begin about going about their business. Let's get some sales, let's generate some revenue, open up the wage budget. He's going to want money, but it feels like everyone's got their strikers now, or just about everyone. That's a decent option. And he's decided to say, I want to explore my options. Well, the options have come and gone. They've dried up. So unless he's got a time machine, I think he's just setting himself up.
Before we even continue speaking about it, next week, Cam, I want you with a headset. I want to look like proper reporters. Like this is some mismatch. You're sitting here
Yeah, bro,
with,
I don't have a headset.
like you need to come professional, yeah. Look at me, Miguel. Look
Oh,
at us.
yeah, I see
Yeah,
you,
we need we
bros.
need we need some team coordination.
Yeah.
Trust me, next couple weeks, I'm gonna have a mic right here, just in front, so it makes you look like a proper content creator. But you, my friend, it looks like you're asking for a quote to build something. I don't know. I don't need a new kitchen. I'm fine, thank you very much.
Okay.
But yes,
Okay.
getting back to it. Yeah. So following off, so Cam, um, do you feel like what Miguel has said? Like, do you feel the options are gone for the table, or there is an offer there? Do you think he's been told? Listen, tell them you want to leave, so a certain club, Liverpool, will come back for him.
Um, maybe there's an element of that. Maybe I think there's so much to the transfer market that we will never ever know of. Um, so I don't read into these statements. I don't read into the timing of it. Like there's deals going on and parts of deals going on that we never know of. So yeah, I think it's a case of the transfer window's still open. He could still move anywhere. The highest bidder wins.
But where does this leave Newcastle? Because they released Callum Wilson. The only other attacker that can probably potentially play up front, you've got Willow, and I don't think he's ready to play as the second striker behind Isak.
It's
So
worrying.
what
If
do
I
they
was
do?
if I was a Newcastle fan, I'd be worried about how it's gone so far.
One signing in all these
Yeah,
weeks.
and those transfer targets that they identified, they've not even got near, and they've all gone elsewhere. So yeah, it isn't looking like they were. Their transfer windows 2 years ago, year ago, they were good. They were strong. When they brought in Isak and they brought in Brazilian
Joelinton, Ramirez,
uh, midfield.
Gomes.
yeah,
Gumarães.
gosh.
Gumarães.
I said Gomez. I don't know why I didn't think that was.
Yeah,
I didn't pronounce it
not good.
right. My Portuguese wasn't good enough for you,
Gumarães.
huh? Huh?
No, I just think they've not. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's worry. I'd be worried.
So I see them. They spent 55 million on Anthony Elanga. I thought maybe that money should have gone to another striker. They lost Callum Wilson. They've tried to bid 25 million for Johan Wissa. Brentford said no. I get it. They need themselves another striker. So should have that been a priority, especially where you let one player go? You've brought another winger. They've still got Jacob Murphy. They've got Harvey Barnes, and they've got Anthony Gordon. So did they really need to go and get Anthony Elanga? Like, couldn't they just use that money and got a striker? Because now we have an Isak who didn't travel on their preseason tour. They've let go of Callum Wilson. So literally, they have gone on a preseason tour, without a first team striker, and not even in any negotiation right now for another striker. Like right now, guess what I'm doing? I'm gonna be Calvert-Lewin's agent and start calling up Newcastle and say, I've got someone for you right now. He's ready. He's got half an ankle, but he's ready. You
Well,
know,
they've said they're looking at Sesko. So
yeah, I think that could
or
be.
they're looking at other options. I don't expect them to. It happens. At the end of the day, their excuse, it might not be legitimate. It might be, but the excuse is that he can't travel, or the advice is he shouldn't travel on a plane with the surgery he's just had. That is known. That's what unfortunately happened to Diogo. The same advice.
Yeah, but you had Lewis Hall was out for 6 months and still recovering from his injury. He travelled. Joelinton, who missed the Celtic match because of injury, he travelled.
That
But
news of
Isak,
that news of him being injured came out like 30 minutes before they were due to travel. Like
well, he
they
had a
literally said,
scan, and the
yeah, this,
scan said he was fine.
yeah, it's just nursing an injury, but like, yeah, he's
Listen,
clearly not in the right mind frame.
Liverpool left Enrico, Liverpool left Chiesa behind because Atalanta are preparing to make a move. But it seems like that move is only dependent if Lookman decides to join Inter if they make a bid. So a lot of things are happening, but they don't want to mess things up. They don't want people hurt. They want you to go negotiate. So I feel like, what was the point? After he dropped, he didn't play. Once he dropped, after he didn't play Isak against Celtic, and then not to now take him on this pre-season, plus the news coming out that he's asked for a move, you can't walk away from this now. It's real evident that he wants out. But can he? Would he take a move from out Halal? We're hearing that that move really ain't going nowhere. So could this be a chance for Liverpool to once again flex their muscles, take off their shirt, and show some chest?
I think the problem is with Newcastle, like you said, they've spent, I think, too much money on Elanga. Whilst I think it's fair given the current market that he's worth like 55 million, I think for Newcastle, with their issues of money and not generating anywhere near as much as Chelsea, Liverpool, all of them who are flexing their muscles, but they can. Newcastle are trying to sit at the big boy table without being ready, and they've spent too much on a player they didn't need. They could have, like, let's say, got Bargy, for example, rather than him going to Barcelona. They could have seen giving him a clearer route to the first team with Jacob Murphy being 31 years old. But they decided to kind of jump the gun, and I think now we're going to see the drawbacks of that this year with like so many of their players now in their 30s and needing replacing. They don't have the money to refresh their squad unless they sell Isak.
Do you feel now? Do you feel, Cam, that this potentially could be an opportunity for Chelsea to offload some front players to Newcastle? Could Newcastle be in and make a desperation bid for Nicholas Jackson or Nkuku?
It's possible. I don't see him Nkunku going there. I think he'll probably end up going back to Germany, but Jackson might be one they might explore.
They can
Yeah,
offer Champions League football,
I, I, I think they
the
probably
number 9
favour.
shirt.
I think they probably favour Sesko in who
Why not
is
both? They need 2 strikers.
maybe.
So this talk of, because I'm hearing talks of Chelsea selling Jackson to United, but maybe it could be to Newcastle. And I feel that if Newcastle do want Sesko, they have to wrap up this Isak deal quickly, and it would mean giving Liverpool a call and saying you need to come over. Let's have a cup of tea and sort this out. And Liverpool get this wrapped up by 2 weeks? Because I feel that's what it's going to take. It's going to be as long as it took Liverpool to sign Wirtz, because it's not going to be easy. I don't think Newcastle want to sit down at one
There's
to a deal.
interest. Yeah, no, there's interest on both sides. I mean, and that's where it's gonna work, right? He wants to go there. Or he would want to if he could, given the choice. They want to sign him, so it's just about the two options coming together. I
So
think
who has the power?
well, Newcastle,
Okay.
they own him. I
Still
think
got
it's
3
about
years.
what Liverpool bring, bruv. If they come to the table and they sit down and say we'll pay 130 million, he's sold.
So you think he'll go for 130,
I
Miguel?
reckon, yeah, 120, 130, thereabouts. Depends on the structure of the deal. I think, yeah, like you said, it's going to take a long time to do this deal given the size, and it'll be a British record transfer.
They would definitely want the initial fee to break the record, and then add-ons. But would Liverpool do that? That's the fine question. Now I feel like we will touch upon more of Liverpool and Ekitike and what that looks like. But in terms of Newcastle, is there enough? Well, I'll say there's enough time, but to be fair, it's like, okay, cool. So is it the right thing to do? First of all, would be to sell Isak first and then go for the potential replacements, or do they go and get them now and then negotiate the Isak sell?
I
How
don't
would
think
you do
they're in
it?
a position to. I think they have to sell him. I think their finances mean that they've got to sell him. Go address that major deal, and then they can, you know, look at other deals, because they will be looking at other options as they negotiate with Isak. It won't just be one thing and then the other. It will be everything all happening at once. So
And I think it's going to be a very big domino effect.
yeah,
Whatever happens will influence whatever other club gets this player or that player. And I think ultimately, one of these clubs, whether it be Villa, Newcastle, United, one of them will end up with Jackson as their only option. So, and
Hmm.
that's why a bit of PSR comes in, and they start, selling players for like slightly inflated fees, but not, they don't want to obviously take the piss out of UEFA. So they'll do it to a sensible level and not do it like with Matson and Omari Kellyman. So we'll see.
So I'm hearing that if Newcastle do sell Isak, it does unlock Newcastle from their PSR issues, and apparently would give them space to go and spend around 300 million. But is there enough out there right now for Newcastle to do that? Is there anybody on the board ready to move that they can get? Because it feels like of two of the four that could made moves have made moves. Gyökeres and Ekitike have made moves. So what's remaining on the board is Sesko and Isak.
right.
Newcastle losing Isak. So it's like, well, what else is out there? We've got people like Vlahovic, who Juventus are trying to get rid of, like a what's the saying? Is it flog a dead donkey or something? Or I don't know what that, you know what I'm trying to say. Dead, was it dead horse?
Dead
Sorry to
horse.
anybody who loves horses and to Peter and all other organizations. We're not promoting dead horses here.
Mm.
It's just a saying. Thank you. Before I try and cancel you for we've begun.
But listen, with Vlahovic, it's funny. A few years back, he was one of the most sought after strikers, and now they want to terminate his contract. Big mess, big
I don't
mess.
know. Do you know what? I think we need to do an episode where we need to look at these kind of players and find out what's happened. Even with Chiesa, when the Juventus were trying to get rid of him, it's like what's happened to Juventus? It seems like they bring a player in and then a season later they're out again. They brought in Douglas Luiz, out.
Mm.
Everybody goes in, out. It's like doing the hokey pokey. I don't know what's going on, and like in, out, shake it all about. I don't know what's happening with Juventus, but we'll leave that for another day. So moving on now to Liverpool, my boys, making big boy moves again in signing the highly rated French under 21 international Hugo Ekitike at a staggering 69 million plus extra 10 million on top, which will take it to, we're going to go euros because I like to report in euros. Was it 92 million euros? Something like that. So 79 million pounds, 92 million euros. Crazy, crazy. One, as a Liverpool fan, I'll tell you this right now. I never saw it coming. I never saw it coming. I never thought of Hugo Ekitike. I thought he was going to be a Newcastle boy because they were chasing him for a good part of 2 years. Because he came to join PSG back in, I think it was like 2022. Was it 2021, 2022? Newcastle after him. Newcastle thought they were going to get him. Didn't. He went to PSG. Newcastle then went and got Isak. So maybe it worked out well for him. But they still had him on the board and thought at some point we will bring him in when they can. Maybe the plan was to pair Isak with Ekitike, or maybe they felt like maybe in the future if Isak decides to leave, they've got a ready-made replacement. We don't know. But it was apparent Newcastle after him. Liverpool would have been linked with everybody and everybody. Finally went and got Darwin Núñez. That hasn't really worked out. And then it was like case of okay, we need to look for someone who can do the business. Now, I I watch German football, and when I mean German football, when I mean I watch it, I'll watch one live game and the rest of YouTube highlights. Like it's just that's my I don't it's just too much football for me to watch. Like my love will always be the Premier League, so I'm interested in what happens in Germany, especially with certain players. Wirtz, who's coming, and I saw that Ekitike was doing some great moves, doing some good things, big things in Germany, and rebuilding his career. Um, Same what was happening with Colomani, where he was doing well. He made his move to Germany, played for Frankfurt, then he got sold to PSG, flop. Ekitike did the same thing, PSG flop. I just felt that moving to PSG is how players move now to Manchester United. It's not, there was something wrong there. There was something rotten there, which they need to fix. I feel that if these players had made these moves now, it'll be a better fit. But it didn't work out, and they were, Ekitike went and found his form in Germany, partnered with Mamouche, who is obviously now playing for Man City, and now he's got this big move. So, and I'll start with you, Cam. I don't know how much of Ekitike you've seen or you
Whole
knew.
lot at all, bruv. I'm like you. I barely watch the Bundesliga. Barely.
I didn't say I barely watched it. I just said, listen, I watched one or two games and then I watched the highlights, so I'm pretty informed.
Well, I think it's
Was
interesting. As a
it?
Liverpool fan, you saying you're surprised that you've spent that kind of money.
Yeah, I don't think I took from because obviously he didn't didn't function well. I just felt like there was nothing wrong with him as a player. I felt like he didn't get the chance to shine at PSG, and
Mm.
I think he needed to be the front man. Wasn't given the opportunity. When he became the front man at Frankfurt, he showed what he can do. And last season was a very good season as he's growing. Still a young boy, still learning his trade, and he's done very well. Do I think 79 million is a fair price? When we've spoken about this many times over the many podcasts we've done about pricing now of young players, it's almost like if they're under the age of 25, they're going to be expensive. Do I feel he's worth 79 million? I would say if this was in 2 to 3 years and he had hit 20 goals a season, then you can say he's earned that. But at 15 Bundesliga's goals, which people will try and say is like 0.41 of a normal Premier League goal, it's a tough one. But when you want the players and you know you're coming from the Premier League who have the money, they're gonna come for you. They're gonna come for your pockets. So you have to pay up. So hopefully, I think it's a good investment. The age, the money wise, I don't know. I thought like Liverpool have two of the best negotiators in European football. But was there a negotiation, or is it a case of, yo, we've got money, talk to me. Here's a check, it's blank, right? Tell me what you want, and we'll take him off your hands. You know, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys
I mean, I said my two bits. Miguel, anything?
think?
I think
He's like, yeah, done with that. No.
listen, you know what it's going to be like. It's a new look Liverpool where the Liverpool fans have always been like, we don't buy talents, we find gems and we make them into superstars and all of this stuff. And you guys have always prided yourself on spending very little money and getting results. But now you are the big spenders this year. So the target's going to be on your back, where I think the spending is far from over at Liverpool. You still need a centre back. Still might be looking at some more forward options, maybe a left winger, depends on outgoings. But you're looking at four, maybe even £500 million.
Thing is, I believe that everybody, content creators included, who talk about Liverpool spending, yeah, everybody thinks they're some type of mathematicians. I don't think anybody knows how PSI actually works in terms of how much money you can actually spend. Because like I'm hearing, oh, Liverpool spend up to £500 if they sell Darwin Núñez and they sell Diaz. Like 500. So how does it even correlate? Is this like what where does that money go? It goes into a black hole. It's like, oh yeah, you can
Eh,
sign
but
Isak.
that's an interesting thought to say because you're saying that now as a Liverpool fan, but everyone's an accountant when it comes to Chelsea spending.
Well, yeah, just yeah,
You know,
your spending is crazy.
But our outgoings are crazy.
we're talking
exactly.
billions. We're talking
Yeah,
billions. Like you
yeah,
lot should be on Forbes magazine.
but imagine
Like
being like United who spend similar money, but they don't get no outgoings. They can't sell Garnacho. They can't even sell Rashford. They
because
sell
they're not
no
worth
one.
any value. They're not valued at what United are trying to price them at. Now, I think if you look at I was watching a video on YouTube and I was talking about the top five teams who have made like in terms of like big losses in the transfer since like 2015.
Mm.
Chelsea were second. I think you'd lost something like 1.2 billion in your player transfers. Like you bought in something like 200 and something players, and you sold like another 135 players. Obviously, this is over, a good 10-year period. You were number two, and they didn't reveal who was number one, but United weren't even fifth or third or second. So I had to believe that United were number one. Um, I was looking at the comments, and yeah, there was a few people putting in Man United, and I have to look here, and you know what? If you look at even in the last couple of seasons, what they've spent. Mount, what's his name? The Brazilian winger, Anthony.
Anthony, 90
You know,
million.
exactly. And then how many outgoings are you seeing that from United that they're making profit from? No, they're not. So barely.
McTominay, 25 million.
That's the only profit because obviously he's straight from the academy. But stick it back with Liverpool. I don't know I really don't know what's gonna happen here. Like now that Isak has spoken out and he wants to potentially make a move. I don't know whether Michael Edwards and the boys want to go and sit on the table and talk. We don't know whether we have to wait until we've received a good fee, a reasonable fee for Diaz. Any move for Darwin Núñez right now is dead in the water. And I think he will be praying that, we don't go for Isak because then he would just be a third option. Where right now he's the backup striker, so his position really hasn't changed. Unfortunately, we lost Jota, so I think it would have been a case of maybe getting Ekitike wouldn't have been so sudden. I think Liverpool may have wanted to push a little bit more on Newcastle and said, "Here you go, all right, here's 130. What you saying now, boys?" Type of flex. but losing Jota was a case of, well, we need another striker, so we'll take Ekitike, and if the opportunity comes to sign Isak again, then we'll go. Now, I feel like Liverpool are making moves for the future because everybody we've signed now is under the age of 24, which is good. Frimpong's on the cusp, he's just turned 24, but we've got Verts at 22, Kirkes 21, and TK 22, 23, I believe it's 22. Yeah, 22. Yeah, because Isak is 25. And I thought maybe potentially we sell Diaz, who's 28, and obviously as part of the ethos is if you can get in profit for players who are close to 30, sell them. So I thought they'll sell Diaz, and then maybe we might go for Rodrigo. We're hearing about Rodrigo coming in potentially. There's talks happening. I think Madrid are going to definitely ask for close to 100 million euros for him. I don't think Liverpool will want to pay that. I think they'll go back and revisit Isak, and then maybe go and get a cheaper option as a left wing backup, or maybe promote. You've got Rio Ngumba, who's been playing well in pre-season, but he's 16, so we don't know if he's ready for Premier League football as of yet. Probably not. So we'll see what happens there. But what I've done is create two teams. Well, I didn't create them; they're already pretty much here. But what I've done, I've got what Liverpool potentially look like by the start of the season, and I've got Chelsea as well. All right. So because we are talking about Liverpool, I'll start with Liverpool, and I'm going to show you using a courtesy of lineupbuilder.co.uk. Go and use it. They're not even a sponsor, so I'm giving you a free promo. Right, give you free promo right now. So I've built what I feel potentially what the Liverpool team could look like by the kickoff of the season. I don't think there's really going to be a surprise on this. All right, let's have a look into this right now. All right, here we go. So pretty much, apart
Rob,
from
you
this,
put Isak on the team. Oh my
yes,
days. You're
see this.
joking.
I said to you, this is what potentially Liverpool could line up with next season, by the start of next season. Okay, so again, you've got Alisson, Becker and goal. You've got Frimpong, Konate, Virgil, Kirkes.
Okay.
What are you playing, man?
I've
Football manager.
wait. Oh, I was gonna do. You know what? To be fair, I was gonna try and get the 4-3-2-1 formation, but this works just as fine anyway. We know that Verts is gonna come in here into the number 10 role here, but as for aesthetics and the setup, it's gonna be a midfield three of McAllister, Gravenberch, and Verts, and then potentially this lineup here up front. Salah, Ekitike, and Isak. Now, I feel these two can swap, but because I feel like Isak can play as a wide forward, he may be potentially launched on the left. Newcastle did a couple of times where they played Callum Wilson down the middle and Isak on the left, and I feel Isak can do that, but I feel Ekitike could do it, so maybe both of them could do the same. We saw the goal that Ekitike scored against Tottenham in the Europa semi-final, where he took it off the left drifting, jinky with jinky, put it bottom corner. We've seen what Isak can do in and around the box. He could be outside the box and strike it, he could be in the box. So he's basically an all-round striker and can play wide. Now, this guy here, Mo Salah, now I feel that as he is coming close to the end of his Liverpool career, not his end of his football career, but his career at Liverpool, I feel what could potentially could happen is either Isak could either drift up to the right here, or Verts can come in here, and then Szoboszlai can fill in, and then you have a front three of Verts, Ekitike, and Isak, or maybe Rodrigo. But I haven't put Rodrigo in there because we haven't made an official bid or official talks haven't
You
started.
haven't even mentioned Cody Gakpo, who is
Don't worry
actually one
about
of your
Gakpo.
players.
Don't worry. That's a backup bench bomber. Yeah.
This
So
guy's fully playing football
Okay.
manager. Listen, you might as well
Okay.
just chuck. You might as well chuck in Jude Bellingham in the midfield.
Innit?
come on, man.
Yeah.
No, obviously,
Where's Zizou?
let's be realistic now. Yeah,
Liverpool.
let's be realistic, boys. Yeah.
Liverpool.
All right. So this is what I thought the Liverpool team could look like at the start of the season. Okay. All right. So How do you think that's realistic? Let's be
No,
real. Why? Why?
no, it's not.
Why?
Because,
You said
okay,
we can't sign. You said we can't sign Isak. Go on.
first of all, you haven't signed Alexander Isak, so it's not realistic. Okay,
Potentially,
there's the elephant in the room gone and got over with. Second of all, Cody Gakpo would definitely start above Ekitike.
no,
Yes, he would.
no,
He would.
no,
Simples.
no. I said no 3 times now. Reason being is because if we don't get Isak, then I feel Cody Gakpo will be on the left. Now, if Liverpool are importantly going for Rodrigo, who starts? Rodrigo or Gakpo? Gakpo, yeah. I thought Ekitike with the money brought in, he's definitely going to start. And if we get Isak, you can't. Unless maybe it could happen. Ekitike becomes a backup striker, Isak plays down the middle, and then yes, Gakpo could play on the left, potentially.
If you guys buy Isak, you have the most expensive midfielder, forward, centre back,
Yep.
and goalkeeper
All
in
right,
the
let's
league.
let's make you guys happy, yeah? All right. Is that better?
Yeah, that's more
Yes.
realistic. But we've come back to planet Earth.
All right, well, this is the team which I feel will potentially make back-to-back titles and we Premiership
Alex,
champions
don't lie.
again.
Back in the day when you played Football Manager, you went into the budget and you gave yourself unlimited money. Let's be
Of course I
honest.
did. Of course I did. I had the editor. Do you know what? My brother, he'll see me play, yeah, and he'll be like, "You're just a fucking fraud." I would download and I'll pay for the editor, yeah. It was something like 4.99.
Hmm.
And what you would do, you load up your game, and you can do it. It's while the game's playing. So it's an in-play editor, and then you can just boost money. So, but what you have to, what the thing about that you would think you could load up a load of money. You could put like your transfer fee to like 900 million. You could put up your contracts to like 14, 15 million max and stuff like that. But there's some limitations, okay? Because you know what happens if you go and spend all that money. PSR was coming into play on the last 2 seasons of Football Manager. So it will come after a few months and be like, you're losing money. You're gonna go into administration because you owe money. And I'll be like, what do we do? So I found a loophole. I found a loophole, and I don't know if everybody else found this here. And this is good. This is good advice to anybody who's cheating on Football Manager. When you have your in-game editor, what you used to do is, and you can only do this with the Premier League. You couldn't do it with any other league. No, you could say Premier League, and you could do it with Liga. There's only 2 leagues I used. Oh, you would amend the prize money you would get for a win and a draw. So in the Premier League, if you and you do the same for, I think you do the same for the Champions League. Oh no, I don't think you could change Champions League, but yeah, I would give Liverpool 150 million. It was a max you could do 150 million for every win
Oh
in
my
the
God.
Premier League. So you were literally every few months you were clocking over a couple bill. It was crazy. So I went crazy. I bought Jude Bellingham. I bought Rujo from Barcelona. I bought Mbappe. Mbappe was a lot. Mbappe cost me around 250 million, and
All right, listen.
I had
This
to pay him.
realm of fantasy that you
Yeah,
started
it's
with the
too much. It's
Liverpool
too much.
team
It
is
was,
taking
I
a
was
mad
Yes, that
tangent.
was
yeah,
mad
yeah. That was
convoluted.
mad. That was mad.
I
Sorry
used
for the
used to go
confession.
into the bit about the balance. I used to edit the balance and put it into the positive. Give
Yeah,
myself
but
like
then
a billion pounds in.
But what year were you playing though? Because it wouldn't work on a 2024 one because as soon as you start spending that, you are recording losses because you're not bringing in any money. So the only thing you could do was to boost the stats of the players you don't want, and you can sell them to people like PSG and Manchester City and Real Madrid were always the ones that were buying. I think I sold McAllister to Real Madrid for like 95 million, like just so I could facilitate bringing in Jude Bellingham. Anyway, that was. Oh yeah, I bought Hakimi and I'm playing him right back. So this is what my Liverpool team is like. But don't worry, I did one for Chelsea. So for all you Chelsea fans out there, look what I've done for you guys. Okay, so this is what I feel the Chelsea teams look like at the start of next season, based on new reports. of what has come to light. Okay, so boom. Oh, it hasn't changed on here. Let me look at this. This is right. I'm gonna have to unshare it and share it again. Is this Chelsea? Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. I'm getting used to this stuff now. All right, boom. All right, here we go. This is Chelsea team. Look at it in all its glory.
Where's Reece? Where's Reece? What's going on here?
Oh, don't worry about Reece. Don't worry about Reece. So I've gone for Robert
Where's
Sanchez in
Pedro
goal.
Neto? Oh, this is silly.
Wait. Based on your new potential signings, I had to include them. All right. So people had to get taken out. Yeah. So no Reece James, okay, because I feel that it's going to be Enzo and Caicedo in that midfield, and then you're going to have the guy Xavi Simons. That's who I want to talk about. Yeah, is Xavi Simons, okay, or Simon, to some would say. I'll call him Simons because I thought it's just anyway. Xavi, we call him Xavi. All right. So do you feel that this was the whole point of you guys selling Madueke to Arsenal, was potentially bring in another number 10 and for Palmer to go back on the right and be deputised with Neto, or potentially Neto go over to the left and be deputised with Gittins?
Perhaps, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I'm not a massive fan of Simmons. I think he's got to show a lot more for me. His sell was because he expressed a desire to go somewhere else. Simple as that. And the manager heard him loud and clear and said, "Go on, off you go."
Wait, so
He didn't even want to stay to win a trophy, bruv.
wait,
He
hold
could
on.
have stayed and won the trophy and then gone. He didn't want to do that.
Wait, hold on. Who initiated the move? Was it Madueke?
Madueke, yeah.
No way. I don't know this.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I thought Arsenal made an inquiry.
Listen, all I heard is Mandem FC heard there was a chance to win another trophy and he got scared. So he's like, where do I need to go to escape a trophy?
Oh.
Arsenal.
I think the case of maybe, Gittins coming in and then Esteval came in or was coming in and then he saw what he could do during the World Club Cup. It was a case of, bro, I think I need to bounce. I need to find and I need to go somewhere. But I don't know how Arsenal knew that this guy was potentially going to be available, because there was no like no rebuttal. I don't think he even what do you call it? He didn't even like reject a bid. It was almost a case of come a little higher and we could talk.
But that's how close knit the group is. I think that's what Maresca was saying. Anybody that doesn't want to be, isn't 100% committed. Off you go, bruv. Go somewhere else and play.
I think similar to what you were saying, like with all the attackers and the way we're obviously making this final bit of business to kind of, for the next couple of years at least, this will be the team for the most part. Xavi Simons, I think he had that whole internet personality back from when he was in Barcelona, and everyone was just like, yeah, he's a TikToker, he's
Then he
online,
went
he's
to
just
PSG.
famous.
Yeah.
And he went to PSG, similar to Ekitike, he never had a chance. So then ultimately he left, he went PSV and he's done the whole thing, RB Leipzig, bought in the January period, and now they're going to flip him for a little bit of money. But I think he's a nice little problem solver. I can understand people say he's quite small, so they're not sure whether he can handle the physicality of the Premier League.
I really don't want to hear that talk now when people say he's small. We've got people like David Silva and Bernardo Silva who are tearing it up in the Premier League. No one cares about their height. You saw my guy, João Neves, it's João Neves for PSG.
Oh, Vitinha. Oh no, João Neves, the other midfielder.
Yeah. I think he's either him and Vitinha are probably the same height. Did they have any problems against Liverpool, Villa, Arsenal? No.
I heard they had issues with Chelsea though. So
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a rumor. It's a rumor.
Yeah. You know what the issue was? The issue was this guy here. It was him. It was this guy.
I don't think it was
destroyer.
just him, but he was a big part of it. But listen, that's
I'm convinced when Caicedo's going to retire, he's going to take off his mask and it would have been Kante all this time.
No, with Claude Makelele. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Kid. He's a regen of all three combined. Like, I still feel out of all three, I feel Kante is the best one. Like, I do believe Kante's the best one. Like, he can carry that ball from inside his own path and just take it to outside.
Alex,
the
I just
box.
clocked something.
Like,
What's Hater doing playing right centre back?
There you go. I'm glad you asked that. So,
shit, I didn't even notice him.
didn't you see me type it in? Yeah, I typed it in while you weren't looking. So, It looks like you lot in negotiations with
Hmm.
Ajax. I think you've already agreed personal terms with Hato and with Xavi Simons. So I think the Simmons one is probably a little more advanced because you lot are going to be sending Chukwuemeka in the opposite direction. But that's not going to be a swap deal because they're actually going to be paying for him. So you need to negotiate that. But I'm hearing that Hato is, you know, fee wise in terms of wages is done. It's just I think Ajax are asking for between 35 to 40 million for him, and I think you lot are trying to get a £2.50 discount. I don't know
Nah.
what you lot doing. They just
They originally wanted like 60 million quid, then it came down to 50, and then we were like, actually, we're going to pay you 34. And now they're trying to work out between 34 and 40 mil where it's going to land and what sort of add-ons and God knows what. But apparently the two clubs have a good relationship. They love each other.
how you lot bought from? Oh yeah, you've bought but the last player also that came from Ajax to
Moroccan.
Chelsea was Ziyech, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, cool, maybe. But yeah, Ajax will get their money. If somehow they will get their money. I think they'll probably even put maybe what do you call it, a clause in his
Did you hear
contract where
what happened when they asked for more money? Do you
what
know
will
what
happen.
Chelsea did to them? Chelsea were like, but what about Timber? How much did you sell him for?
Oh,
So
how
they
much was
pulled the
Timber? Timber was like 35, 40.
yeah. So they were saying the same caliber of player. So if you 35, 40 mil, 35, 40 mil, we're not going to get
But it's the
overcharged.
hype around him in the Netherlands. He's been hyped as the new VVD, so
Yeah, well, I'm hearing that.
yeah,
I'm
they're
hearing
paying
that.
hype money.
So, do you feel that these two are the last bits of business you guys are doing? I thought you've got enough players now to do the league, more than enough. I think you have to look at outgoings because you've got too many people now. You've brought Gittins in, um, you got Jao Pedro in. What does it say for someone like George?
George goes on loan.
Yeah, it goes on loan.
Okay, okay. So you're gonna have Xavi coming in here. You've still got players like Andre Santos, Lavia,
Sugo,
Ist, and who else?
Esugo.
Who's going on loan?
Who's going? Well, we got
Or who's
Isugo,
getting sold?
Isugo, Lavia, Santos in the midfield. Probably there's interest for KDH, Kieran
Yeah.
Dewsbury Hall, and
Oh yes, I
Chukwuemeka.
forgot about him. Yeah, well, Chukwuemeka we know potentially on the way to Leipzig. As you said, you still got Dewsbury Hall, and it looks like nobody's going with him. I see him as a West Ham buy. Like maybe that's the kind of team he goes to. West Ham. I think Potter would come and be like, I'll take him off your hands for a
I
little while.
think Fulham or Brighton, one of them. They want him. They've inquired about a permanent deal and a loan deal. What that looks like.
What about Leslie?
Oh, he's good player, but just bad luck. He'll get sold for a decent chunk of change, probably around
He's
20
not good
mil.
enough. He's not good enough.
I see him joining in some of these teams that have just been promoted, like maybe like a Burnley or Leeds would come in for him. Like that could be a good move for him. But what okay percentage wise on these two moves happening, Xavi and Hato, where do you feel that is percentage wise?
Moment, it's looking like probably 70% on.
I think Hato's more likely, based on the fact he put in a transfer request and he hasn't even been included in the latest squad. Um, I think Xavi Simons, there's a lot more buts. I think Bayern, if they can't get their way with Liverpool to get Diaz,
Mhm.
it's very much known that I think Xavi Simons is the second option, but apparently he prefers a move to England. So I think it comes down to money because Bayern pay Bayern wages. They'll come and offer him 300k and be like, yeah.
Okay, okay, all right. So I would like to now kind of like move on to another move, which I felt was a pipe dream, but then the dream became reality. Marcus Rashford to Barcelona. It's a loan move. I feel like we're playing. I feel like we're playing FIFA, and we've somehow got Rashford to Barcelona. Who would have thought? Now, good move. What do you reckon?
For him,
For
Yeah.
him,
it's incredible.
I think he's by far live one of the laziest footballers I've seen live.
Wow.
The amount of time he spent just walking around the
You
pitch,
sound
putting
you
in
sound like British. You
0%.
sound like British media right now. Yeah.
Lazy,
Leave
lazy. I've
Rashford
seen it.
alone. Let him go to the clubs. Let him look like a rapper.
Every time he moves on loan, he's just kissing the badge. He's just like, this feels like home. He's becoming a bit of a meme now. He literally said that about Barcelona. I'm like, mate, you're from Manchester. Relax. This is not home.
So, do you think this could be a case of Osman Dembele, where he goes to Barcelona, just doesn't really deliver, and he's just like out on the nightclubs all the time? Like he's going to Barcelona.
Well, like
Like
Ronaldinho.
this is like him. I don't know I don't know what this is going to do for him as a player because it was a problem him being in the Manchester clubs and then clubs in Ireland and then going to London. But Barcelona, I've been to Barcelona, yeah, and I know. So I don't know how Rashi is going to deal with this because this is not Manchester. Man's going to a city that has a beach, a city that has full of Latina women from all over the world.
He's gonna link up with Trent next year. He'll do a Figo. And he'll go over to
Could you
Madrid.
imagine the El Clasico next season? It's going to be him versus Trent. You would think this is Man United and Liverpool all over again. Naturally, it will be Marcus on the left, Trent right back.
You know when Trent thinks he's gonna play against some average footballers, and then he's playing against Barcelona. He's got Alex and Balde and Rashford running down his side.
Ah, and the funniest thing is whenever they were doing like Rashford and when he exploded onto the scene, it was him going past Trent like he wasn't even there. So those flashbacks are going to be there for Trent when he sees when the Barca shape. Be like, what's going on here? You what's going on here? Who's next? So we're gonna see Sancho playing for Atletico Madrid. What's going on? It's gonna be weird to see a potential lineup of Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Rashford, and and Lewandowski.
Crazy.
It's not exactly the Messi, Neymar, and Suarez front attack that we saw just a few years ago. But do you think this could be? Do you think it's okay? It's a good thing, as you said before. It's a good thing for Rashford. But why would Barcelona go for Rashford?
I've been trying to work this out and I don't know.
The financial move. They need to I think there's like a weird cap on them, just specific to La Liga, where they have to fit within a certain percentage. So even Nico Williams, there was issues even if they got him, being able to register him. They would have
Register
had
him.
to probably get rid of Olmo, one of these players, but that's not a
They
given.
struggled to get Olmo in for the second half of the season.
Yeah, they had a
So,
clause where if he didn't get registered, he could have left for free.
so
Craziness.
it's yeah, and I've seen that issue with La Liga is that you have a certain wage bill and you have to keep underneath that. So it does mean that some players don't get registered, which means players either get sold or they go on loan. Now bringing in Rashford, it doesn't. I don't understand it because they had Ansu Fati, who I feel would be an option which is cheaper than Rashford in terms of wages, but they decided to let him go,
Sold him, yeah.
sold it to Monaco. So it's like, Rashford was earning what 300,000 at Manchester United. So I don't know how much Barca are paying part of that wage,
They're paying the whole
but
wage.
they're paying the
Yeah,
whole
Full
wage.
wage. Yeah.
And he took 100 grand deduction.
Did he?
So yeah, he did. Yeah, I saw
it'll
that he
still be
took.
around 250 though, so it's not
Yeah,
like he's going to be
he'll
struggling to
be
make
around
ends meet.
200, but that is still a lot for Barcelona to put onto that wage bill. So I don't know what they've had to do. Well, it's only pre-season, so they haven't had to register him yet for the league. So when it does come to the league, maybe we might see some movement. Maybe certain players that have been potentially looking for a move
Probably.
I think
might
this is
want to go on.
probably related as well to Camp Nou, where there's delays of reopening it. So it's probably, yeah, I think it's purely financial. I think it works for everyone. Man United don't have to pay his massive fee. They can put him in the shop window if he pops off. Who knows? Maybe Saudi comes for him next year, and he's lived it all up. He's played for a big Spanish team, and he can go off to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
You reckon Rashford in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, in a
I,
year's
I,
time, if he's popped
I think
off.
Rashford, look, honestly, I think these days of having a promising career are behind him. He knows that and he's all about the fucking Benjamins. All he cares about now is the money. That's his priority. Clearly.
I
If
remember
it
when they
was,
were
we would have
autographing
seen
him.
a different product on the pitch, but we haven't.
I think it's the lifestyle.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're
I
absolutely
think
right.
it's the lifestyle. I think yeah, obviously the money gives you the lifestyle, so it's hand in hand. But I think it's the lifestyle that it's provided him. Like as long as you can
Mm,
find a lifestyle, he'll go to
He
you.
lives
So
in a false reality. He lives in Rashford world.
spending 700k on a car.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, man. Just not
Crashing
thinking
then
about the
pineapple on
future.
the tweet.
I want that lifestyle. I would sell both of you got that lifestyle. Yeah, I don't care. I'll human traffic
Promise
both
you, I
of
won't
you.
get that much.
I'm sure your kidney's worth a few bob. Anyway, so we have that. We still have Jadon Sancho trying to find a club. Isn't that a weird thing to say? Jadon Sancho is technically what he does have a club. It's not as if he's on a free, but he potentially is on the move again. Now, has he become a journeyman now? You know, he left Watford to join Manchester City. Okay, Manchester City took him off Watford. Couldn't see a pathway to the first team. Left, went to Dortmund. Then gets his big move from Dortmund to Manchester United. Doesn't work out for him. Goes on loan to Chelsea. That doesn't kind of work out. No, sorry, he goes
Wait,
back
It
on
was
loan to
wages.
Dortmund.
It was
Sorry,
wages.
I was going to say he rejected.
wait, but
An offer.
He rejected
yeah,
100. He's on
But we're
250.
talking about people that
Yeah.
have got a strange and unrealistic familiar relationship with money, and like saying no to 180 grand a week
I
is
know,
insane.
I know.
When you're Jadon Sancho, that's insane.
It's a blessing in disguise, though. Everyone we
It
got
is.
on that
It is.
left.
But you have to remember, yeah, you have to think about like British tax, you know, taking at 40%. So him dropping down to that, he'll get cut again. Where him on 300,000 a week, in reality, would look like 180,000 a week. Then maybe, you know, so him being on that 180 would then in reality look like around 190,000 a week after all the taxes. I'm not an accountant, but I'm guessing, you know, the less money, even you do take a cut, that cut's getting cut. That's what he's accustomed to, a certain life, accustomed to a certain amount. He's got, again, football is a short career. So you know what? It's only
I'm not
so
hating on him. I'm not. And if it sounds that way, I feel bad. But
I'm hating on him. I'm hating.
Listen, it's a
I
weird
want that money.
conundrum because we're talking about someone thinking longer term, thinking about the football, thinking about the opportunity. He would have been taking a cut from 250 to 180, but had a contract probably for the next 3, 4, 5 years. So I think proportionally he should have thought maybe a bit more longer term because now he's having to take a bigger cut if he's going to move anywhere because no one's going to offer him 180 on top of a transfer. So we paid 5 million, send him back, have a lovely day. We'll get someone, pay them half the salary, and they'll be twice as productive and better going, track him back to do the defensive work rate because you don't really do that.
But as Chelsea fans, would you, if he had taken the 180 and stayed, would you have been happy?
I think he always would have been a squad player. The way Neto's come through. Yeah, I mean, I would have said that going back and looking at the squad. Neto for me is first choice on the left. Gittins has got to prove himself. So.
But I'm sure he'd be given a chance.
Yeah, of course he will.
And was getting always kind of be the plan, or that was plan B because you couldn't get Sancho?
Maybe.
I
If we
think
offered Sancho,
Gittins is an upgraded version of Sancho. And it's all about profiles for Chelsea right now. Like João Pedro is a particular profile. Gittins plays out wide. He stretches the pitch. If we bring in Xavi Simons, he's a playmaker. He's very tricky with his feet. He can unlock defenses, especially with the low block in mind. So it's just about like having a Swiss Army knife. Same team, but you can customize it depending on the opposition. And I think when Enzo does have the players, he has shown that he's actually formidable. Even Slot said, I think in a number of interviews last year, he said the best opposition he's played against all season is Chelsea. So it'll be interesting to see how they duke it out this year, now that they've both been able to spend even more money.
That, and you know what? You've led me into something I actually want to speak about. I want to see how much of this you probably agree with me. First of all, again, Miguel, you weren't here at the time last week, so congratulations for winning the Club World Cup. I know you're waiting for me to say that. Cam had all the adoration last week, so now it's down to you. I was wholeheartedly impressed with that game, more than when you beat us in the league. Like I didn't really care, and I was like, yeah, maybe it was a sign, initial signs that this Chelsea team, they're putting something together. People can talk about, oh, Liverpool took their foot to the gas, blah blah. That's no excuse there. That's no excuse. You lot played well and deserved the 3 points. Cool. PSG, yeah. First 45 minutes, you blew them out the water, and then the rest of the second half was just Control. Just control. Just don't let them score. You didn't need to go and get more. 3 goals is enough.
Mm.
And maybe if you had gone all out again on them, maybe they could have picked some holes and got themselves back into the game. Maybe, maybe bring back to 3-1, potentially 3-2. But defensively, you guys were spot on and solid. Now you lot are making, some good transfers. Obviously, yeah, some people have to go. Those who were on the peripheral of the team last season have to go, and then new people come in. Now, if you do make the sign of someone like Xavi Simons and Hato, and then get rid of a few players that are coming back from loan deals, obviously we're seeing a potential. Well, you've got no excuse now. You're gonna have to make a title challenge. But with your team being young, and with Liverpool's new ethos of buying younger players and spending a lot of money this season, can we now see a new rivalry for the league of Liverpool and Chelsea?
It's probably looking that way. Yeah. If you look at the two, I'd say yeah, you're right. If you look at the two exciting, youthful setups in the Premier League, it's Chelsea and Liverpool now going forward.
Because I'm going to be real, City have made some signings, but I don't feel threatened by City. They're going to be better than they were last season, that's for sure. Everybody's going to be better. For Arsenal will be a team hard to beat, as they've always been over the last few years. But in terms of a team that can transition really quickly, pace and power in the midfield, and skillful attackers, I feel Chelsea are more of a danger than Man City, and I'll even put Chelsea on par as Arsenal now. Yeah, fair enough. The last few seasons you've seen Arsenal play you guys off the pitch and beat you. I think now this is going to be one of the best seasons we're going to see of the Premier League, and it's going to be tough. And already I saw today Arteta was talking. I don't know where the story came from, but I saw it on TalkSport how Arteta said there's going to be 8 potential teams that are going to rival them for the title. I was like, 8? Who are these 8? Oh, he must be talking about the teams that took points off him
That's who he's
last
talking about,
season.
yeah.
That's it. Because I see 4 teams going for the title this season, maybe 5, but I would say 4 because they've got no excuses because they've all spent money. Liverpool, they have to retain the title. They have to. Liverpool, Arsenal, City, and Chelsea. Those are the 4. Newcastle will be looking to try and keep them placed in the top 4. They want to try and break that top 4. Top 5 still gets you Champions League football for next season. Man United will be looking to try and get into the top 8 with Tottenham. Villa will be trying to stay there as well. They haven't made much moves in transfer market, and I feel like even United on the attack scale are looking so much better. Cunha and Wemo. I don't know how it's going to work because they're still trying to figure out what they want to do, but I feel that they're gonna be able to beat the teams, the lower teams. But when it comes to the top 4 or 5, I don't think they can compete. So we're going to keep in that bracket of top 8 finish. Same with Tottenham. Chelsea, Arsenal, City, Liverpool are who have probably made the most transfers right now, currently. Obviously, you're going to get teams like Leeds, Burnley, who are going to probably buy like 8 players in the space of the next few weeks. Not the Forest will probably try and rebuild because they're losing players. But that's who I see as the title runners, and I see a new rivalry now. I feel like Liverpool City did it. Klopp's gone. Pep's on his last legs. Arteta spent 6 years now. Maybe his title run still there. I'm not gonna lie, still there. But as in a new rivalry of managers, Slot and Maresca.
I think it's like an amalgamation of all these managers that need to produce results all in the same year, because I think in years prior, everyone's kind of been written off like, oh yeah, you can, like, it's a year of transition, there's a lot of change, there's this or the other. I think Maresca just had normal expectations. He's won 2 trophies, so people want more. Finish in second, go ahead and win some domestic silverware, challenge for the Champions League. Arteta's like, okay, you got your striker, you got your whole team, you've built it from bottom to the top. So now that you've got your final piece, so to speak, you need to go win the title. But then Klopp's got this superstar team now where he's brought in all these
Wait, did you
established
say Klopp?
players.
I mean, Slot.
Not Klopp, sorry, Slot.
I know,
And
I know.
everyone.
It's deep. It's still there. It's still there. Yeah, it's still there. I get it.
So it's tough where everyone needs to get results, and I think ultimately one or two of these managers up there, the top 4 this season, top 4, top 5, at least a couple of them are going to get sacked because someone's going to fall short, and it's not going to look good, and the fans are going to act up. It's a question of who.
I don't know about Satch, because reason being is because I don't think there are any high-profile managers now out there. To be fair, the one person who could have made a move has made a move, and that's Inzaghi. And now he's in Al Hilal, and I think he's
After the
going to be there
World
for a
Cup,
while.
there's always a shake-up after the World Cup. After the World Cup, managers
Yeah,
will
and to
like
be
to
fair,
part their posts and shuffle
when
around.
we appointed Maresca, he wasn't high profile either. He was the manager.
After Pochettino, who was okay? Apart from obviously Maresca was in the running, but who was also in the running for Chelsea manager?
Amarim was there. Um, other names were mentioned, but there wasn't any
Deserbi, I think.
firm.
Time,
Who?
maybe. Deserbi.
De Zerbi.
Yeah, De Zerbi went to Marseille. Yeah. I think De Zerbi for a long time because of the whole Brighton link, and us taking everything from Brighton. There was a massive link there as well.
Yeah, he'll be like, "Hi boys." He'll walk in, half the team that he knows. He'll be like, "Hey, how are you? Coaches, scouts, everyone." Okay. But yeah, that's how I was looking at it. I'm really excited for the start of the Premier League. Obviously, we've got pre-season glories to look at. I think Arsenal will get, they've won a trophy the other day, and I'm sure they'll be looking to add to their collection by the end of pre-season. So yeah, I think that's going to be, our eyes are going to be fixated to what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks with some movement, big movement in Isak. I want to see what you boys are going to do. I'm pretty excited. I'm not hating no more on Chelsea. Reason being is because Liverpool have made moves. So it's like, I can't wait to play you guys.
The reason
That's
you're
a
not
big
hating
match.
is because you're going to be wearing a Chelsea shirt in the office soon enough.
You know what? Yeah, I told Cam this. I was dead against it. I was dead against it. Reason being, one is I've never bought an opposition shirt of a team that I don't despise Chelsea, but like, let's just say, same, it's like,
Badge a couple of times, man. You'll be all right.
So it's blasphemy to put on the shirt of another team. But because I will honor this. I have to honor the bet. I'm going for that Chelsea away kit because it looks like Portugal. So if you squint and from afar, I say yes, Portugal. And second being is that sometimes you're unbearable, Miguel. Yeah, sometimes you're unbearable. So to lose a bet to you is tough. It's tough. If it was Cam's my brother, so it's fine. It's fine. I'm happy to do that, and he'll be lenient. He'll be like, "Yeah, you don't need to." But
Nah. Don't
you,
bet if you're not gonna honor it.
yeah. But I thought PSG were gonna win. Bunch of pussios, man. Why is it they decided not to turn up? They've had like a 15-game winning streak, conceded no goals in like 8 games, and they decided to go and be pussios against you lot.
I was legit gonna go out and get a Diaz or Jota shirt. I wasn't ramping. I was serious. I'm
Okay,
gonna
do
go
you
buy
know?
a proper
You know
shirt.
what? I'm gonna get a Chelsea shirt, and I'm gonna get number 20 and put Jota on the back.
You know what? Given the
You'd
circumstances,
be
that's
allowed.
completely
You'd be
fair.
allowed. We wouldn't hate you for it.
But that kit is nice though. Your away
Mm.
kit
It
is
is really
sexy.
nice. I'm
It's
getting
sexy.
it. I really
The
like
whole
it. But you
retro
can
look,
see
man.
yours when you're done
Can
wearing
I? Okay. What about if I get the shirt and I get the badge just removed and
You need to
just
put on some
like?
more muscle cam before you put on Alex's shirt, though.
it. It's fine. I like oversized. I like it with
Oh
an oversized.
yeah, because I'll be getting extra large.
Yeah, it's
Like,
perfect.
yeah, I'm gonna get it and then I'll wear it once and then give it to Cam. You can have it. You can have it. You can have it.
Nice.
All right. So before I wrap up, I just want to announce that we are going to be doing a new segment to the Never Caught Offside podcast. It's going to be FPL. Haven't actually got a name for it, to be fair, but any suggestions would be great. But it's just going to be a little segment where we will, because we are avid FPL players, okay? So it will be myself, Cam, and we'll have another guy called Tuyo, who's probably seen before on at least an episode. And obviously, we'll have other people brought in as well who'll be able to share what the FPL teams are like. And if you are an FPL freak, like some of us are, and it's turned into like before it was just like, yeah, you pick a team and put it out. Now it's all like maths, people doing equations.
AI.
People are sweating. Yeah, like average this,
15
average
YouTube
points,
videos
and
before you make a single transfer.
the heat. You know what? It's almost a case of you get pissed off with your own team winning. You're like, why'd you have to win today? Like, I needed the points, but then it's like no. So it's got that deep. But I thought it's really good. What I will do, we're gonna start next week. I've actually started put a team together already. But it's most likely going to change because of the chances to come in. Even Ekitike hasn't been registered there. Gokares hasn't registered Arsenal yet. I was going to talk about Gokares later, but I thought, nah, let's forget it. Arsenal don't need to be mentioned in today's episode. We don't talk about Gokares. It's been enough. It's enough. So next week, hopefully, when more players will be introduced, we could potentially start. But obviously, we will kick off properly at the start of the season. But I want to be able to gain some momentum and have people join our leagues. So
Yeah,
what we'll do,
we'll do a team reveal for each of us. Won't we?
yeah, we'll do a team reveal. Make it. We'll keep it very competitive, and I will give you guys, the viewers, the opportunity to join our leagues. So I will put the team links that you can join us in the description of the video when we do drop. So we have plenty of time to join our leagues before the official start happens. So we're gonna play for pride. So anybody thinking there's gonna be prize money involved, no, we're broke. We don't, unless we could do a five. I can do a fiver. So, yep. All in fiver, winner takes all. How about that? Can everybody afford that? That's all. That's the only way. No 250 prize money here. Yeah, we're not born like this yet. Like, unless you lot start subscribing and commenting and liking, then maybe
That would help.
in 2029 we might be able to afford a good 10k. Yeah, how about that? Get us to 100,000 viewers in the
Really help.
next year. It would
Hit that
really
like
help.
button.
Hit the
You know
like
what you
button.
should do? A little forfeit, Alex. Look, if you lose to,
I ain't
let's
doing
say
no
me,
forfeits with you. Yeah,
yeah.
you're not involved. You're not
Listen,
involved. Yeah,
get a Liverpool shirt, chalk on Caicedo on the back so you can imagine what it would have looked like.
never. Listen, okay. Let's just get this straight. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm happy we didn't sign Caicedo. I'm happy we didn't
Best
sign
team in the
Lavia.
world. Ugh. Sergio Busquets
Yeah,
2.0.
no. Do you know what? Do you know what's better than them? Gravenberch. Yeah. Premier League title winner. What? Say what? Say
Okay.
what?
Is he a
Okay.
world champion
All
though?
right. Well, if we had entered, we would have won it. Anyway, all right. So, thank you guys for joining us today. It's the end of the show. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, Miguel. And I'll see you boys soon. And I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Never Caught Offside. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and I want to see you lot for the FPL segment next week. Take care. See you soon. Ta ta.